Al, you addressed this you're representing the state. Can you just address how logistics is viewed by the end user and by maybe north and south, the cities? How does a user choose between the two, and then what is the state doing to continue to attract users in the logistics arena?
Before I do that, can I make a follow-up comment on Russ's
Sure.
on air freight? Over the last several years, there has been a lot of interest in trying to get international air freight into both Reno and Las Vegas, particularly into Reno. Up until a couple of years ago, actually, the Reno airport did not have a freight manager, and we've worked very diligently with them to try to get more air freight in here. We did have discussions with Mexican Airlines at the time. Mexico was our number 4 export market. We had $110 million leaving northern Nevada in air freight exports to Mexico. Mexican and Aeromexico are both having financial problems, have been taken over by the government, but we're still looking for potential there. People may not know, but Reno Airport did sign a MOU with Air China, and we're a backup airport. If San Francisco was closed due to weather, Reno is actually a backup air freight airport for Air China. Most of the discussion in air freight internationally, everybody would like to have a direct link to Asia, has been primarily with McCarran Airport in Las Vegas. And I think they're getting very close to inking a deal with a Asian airline that would bring in air freight. We're still trying to get air freight up in Torino. I was just kind of follow up.
Yeah, no, thank you.
In talking about the difference between northern and southern Nevada, 2/3 of all the manufacturers, the people who actually make widgets or export them, except for our mining community in the north, are actually within about 90 miles of Reno. Most people think it's in Las Vegas, but Las Vegas is still primarily a service industry, a lot of financial services. We're getting more and more exporters coming into Las Vegas, but they tend to be small exporters. So if you look at the per capita exports from Nevada, comparing northern Nevada to southern Nevada, we export on a per capita basis 7 times more product out of the Reno area than out of Las Vegas. What we're seeing a difference now is in the whole renewable energy. You know, that's a big focus for the state, not only in production of energy, and people keep on talking about all the jobs in the green economy, and they talk about the generation. And we had to educate some people about there's a lot of construction jobs when you're building a solar plant or a wind farm, but we had some testimony from some of these companies before legislature last year. For example, a wind farm, after one is built, it only takes 2 people to run it. So there's not a lot of follow-on jobs in the generation of electricity from renewable sources. Where we see the jobs is in the manufacturing. Obviously, if you're manufacturing wind turbines, if you're manufacturing solar tracking devices, parabolic mirrors, anything in the geothermal, of course, which I have a lot of in northern Nevada, that's where the real jobs are. And so in our attraction of new businesses coming in from around the world, we're trying to attract the manufacturers in the renewable energy or the people who do both manufacturing as well as generation. We're seeing a lot of that go into southern Nevada, particularly in solar. We're trying to get more solar up here. We have a lot of geothermal. The wind is primarily going to be along the eastern corridor of the state when they get the new transmission line in. So that whole area is changing with the renewable energy field. Mining is still obviously a heavy area in northern Nevada as we see the price of commodities continue to go up, and it will stay that way. In fact, our copper mining, we're about maxed out. We're exporting about as much as we can produce. There are some other differences we're looking at. One of the things we've been working on, it's not a secret, we've been working on it for 10 years, and this is probably the closest we're going to get, is I keep on mentioning China. Why do I mention China? 10 years ago, China was our number 24 export market. We were doing $40 million a year in exports from Nevada to China. 2008 is our number 3 trading partner in the world. We did almost $500 million in exports from Nevada to China. And as we see more investment, we'll see more going out. One of the things we'd like to get, particularly in Las Vegas, because it makes sense, is actually a Chinese World Trade Center. People go to China, they go to other places to buy goods. Out of the visitors we have to Las Vegas every year, we have 8 million business buyers These are people coming to Las Vegas, not for tourism, but strictly for conventions, looking to buy products. There's not another city in the world that has that many business buyers every year. So rather than you go out and try to get the buyers to come to your place, they're already going to Las Vegas. As you know, what they call the International Furniture Mart, it's actually called the World Market Center, has become the new International Furniture Mart. There's will eventually be 8 towers there in Las Vegas. There's 4 up right now. The International Jewelry Mart was going to be under construction, but due to the economy, they've stopped. So we're seeing a lot of these international market areas look at Las Vegas because of this. And we've been talking to the Chinese to put in basically a China World Trade Center that would have 300, 400, 500 outlets for different manufacturers across the spectrum of businesses in all areas, not just furniture, as the World Market Center has done, and to put that in Las Vegas. And that's a big investment. Now the drop in real estate prices has really spurred them on to be more interested in it. And there's a very large Chinese exhibition company that does large trade fairs that I'm going to be meeting with next month when I'm in Guangzhou, China. They've expressed a lot of interest through the Chinese government in actually doing something now. So.